All right, so let's go ahead and do a quick little review for our quiz on geometric sequences. So remember, in a geometric sequence, the pattern is multiplying by the same number each time. So here it says, give the first four terms of the geometric sequence for which a of 1 equals -7. A of 1 is the same thing as f of 1, which means the first term. So the first term is -7, and r, which r is the common ratio, that's the number we are multiplying by each time, equals -4. So we can go ahead and take a look here and say, all right, give the first four terms. Our first term is -7. So then -7 times -4, that is positive 28. And 28 times -4, that is negative 112. And negative 112 times -4 is positive 448. Looking at the next example here, give the first four terms of the geometric sequence for which the first term, a of 1, is -6, and r is 5. So our first term is -6, and we're going to multiply by 5 for each term. So -6 times 5, that's -30. -30 times 5, that's -150. And -150 times 5 is -750. So now this next question says, what is the 16th term in the following geometric sequence? And they give us the first 5 terms: 5, -10, 20, -40, 80. And so you see the fact that these numbers are going back positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. That means that r, the number we're multiplying by, is a negative number. Remember, the way you find r is by doing term divided by previous term. So here, if I do -10 divided by 5, that equals -2. So now I know r equals -2. So you can, if you want, you can go ahead and multiply by -2 until you get to the 16th term. But the better way to do this is by using the explicit rule. So remember, the explicit rule for a geometric sequence is as follows. F of n equals f of 1, which is the first term, times r to the n-1 power, where n-1 is obviously 1 less than your n value. So if we're looking for the 16th term here, we're saying, okay, well, f of 16 equals, our first term in this sequence is 5, times r here is -2 to the n-1 power. So if n is 16, then our exponent here is 15. Now we can go ahead and punch this into our scientific calculator. This here is the decimal scientific calculator. So our function is 5 times -2, and I want to put the -2 in parentheses, to the, so I'm going to hit my exponent button, and I'm going to put the 15th power. And so if we look on the right end, we see here that the answer is -163,840. And that is the 16th term in this sequence. So the 16th term, f of 16, equals -163,840. All right, question number 4 says, what is the 20th term in the following geometric sequence? And we notice now here that all 5 of these terms are negative, which means that r is actually a positive number, but our first term is negative, which makes everything negative, right? So how do we find r again? Term divided by previous term. So if we say -6 divided by -2, that equals +3. So r equals 3. And again, to find the 20th term, you could keep multiplying by 3 until you get to the 20th term, but easier to use the explicit rule. So the explicit rule here is going to be f of n equals f of 1, our first term, -2, times r, which is 3, to the n-1 power. And so in this case, we're looking for the 20th term. So we have here f of 20 equals negative 2 times 3, and 20 minus 1 is 19, to the 19th power. And when you punch that into the calculator, you see that the 20th term is going to be negative 2,324,522,934. All right, the fifth and final question says, an electric can opener is worth $38 when it is new. After each year, it is worth half what it was the previous year. What will its worth be after 4 years? Round your answer to the nearest cent. All right, so we already know what R is, because here it says, after each year, it is worth half what it was the previous year. So we know our R, the number we're multiplying by, is 0.5, half. So what's the first term? Now, we might think that the first term is 38, but it's not, because the first term would be after the first year. So this $38 is the worth of the can opener when it's new. So the first term would actually be a year later, which is half of 38, which is 19. So now, you can get to year 4 by just multiplying by half 3 more times. Or you can write the explicit rule. I like the explicit rule, so I'm going to do that. So f of n equals, in this case, 19 times 0.5 to the n minus 1 power. And we're looking for the fourth term, so f of 4 equals 19 times 0.5 to the, and 4 minus 1 is to the third power. And when you enter that into your calculator, you see that the fourth term in the sequence is 2.375, but since we're dealing with money here, we round to the nearest cent, so that's going to be $2.38. All right, I hope this quick review has helped you to get ready for the quiz.